Hello?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
We're about to find out. Talk to me.
First of all, love the platform. I'm actually pretty new to it. I got on here about a week ago, whatever, and I've just been getting into
Holy
voracious
shit.
life, man. So it's
Yeah.
great.
You joined at
Being,
a interesting time period.
oh yeah, yeah, man. I don't know. Is this the last day that we could talk about Lav and
This is the actual last day because starting tomorrow, they are not only never getting mentioned in my shit again, I'm going to be removing every fucking thread. I'm also blacklisting the fuck out of them. Anybody that has them on their shows, I'm probably not going to interact with for a minimum of 2 weeks.
yeah, because it seemed like you were teetering on that a few nights ago, but I guess you made your choice.
Yeah, I got some leaked Lav DMs, and the shit that she says behind the scenes is fucking insane. I can't really. I mean, it's still probably a lot of manipulation by Max, but at some point, she's 24 years old. Okay, she's old enough to know better. Okay, it's just fucking insane. But yeah, what's up?
Yeah, man. Honestly, I think that people like overvalue like the aspect of it where it's like you had sex with her, so it's like you kind of like
That
owe
no
her
no
to not
it
like.
literally here. So here's the thing: we hooked up once. Like it was when I did the no jumper interview. So it was like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. But since then, I don't think we've had a sexual dynamic at all. Like we still are a little bit, kind of, sort of flirty, but we haven't we didn't sext. I don't think a single time. I don't think we didn't trade any nudes ever. There was no like weird dynamic like that. That whole idea was completely like retroactively fit into her brain, either with her deluding herself or with Mr. Girl like hyping her up. But like, no, we didn't have like any active sexual shit going on in the background at all. Like it was just really weird. She just completely invented that fictitiously in her head. That's why every time I pushed her privately and publicly, she's like, "Oh no, it was 100% consensual. Oh no, nothing weird was happening. Oh no, blah 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 blah." But it's funny because she's taking the Bob Seven route. I don't remember if I said this on stream publicly or privately, but I said, I think I said this privately, but I said what would be really funny is if they took the clips of me saying, if you really want to rape somebody, all you have to do is make them feel very safe and communicate.
Oh my
And
God.
but in DMs, I don't know if she said this publicly yet, but in private DMs, that's what she's saying. She's saying the only reason Steven was so careful and safe with me was to be communicative so that he could manipulate me. I'm like, are you
This is
actually
exactly what
serious?
fucking Max is doing. What the
Yeah,
hell,
yeah,
dude?
but that's always the funny thing too. And I always wish I could show people this because it's the same too when I talk to Anna, who I've been talking to a lot more now recently to figure out what's going on. But then, and same thing when I talk to Lev too. Like when I talk to any of these people, I always say, "Hey, listen, you can talk to whoever you want. I'm not going to tell you who you can or can't talk to. You can do whatever you want, like figure your shit out. But I'm always here if you want to talk. You figure your shit out. But then on the other side, it would be a person be like, you can never talk to Steven. He's evil and manipulative. You've got to get away from him. And I was like, how can you not see like which one of us is clearly manipulative and which one of us clearly isn't? It's kind of funny to like
Yeah,
pretend that there's an equalness there. Yeah.
I felt like a minority of like the population who was just like watching Lav and Mr. Girl like talk and like looking at this dude's facial expressions and being like, this man's disturbed. Like he doesn't look like he's engaging in the conversation the same way that like two good friends engage in table talk. Like this was like extremely weird. He has a bunch of like fake profound like one-liners that are supposed to be really meaningful, but they ended up being like super open-ended, and she just like plays directly into it.
Yeah.
I think this entire arc literally just starts with Lav's like lack of accountability for her engagement in meta discourse in 90% of conversations. Because I'm sorry, I don't know if chat disagrees, and I'm sorry if they do, but Lav's contributions 90% of the time are like vacuous, really inapplicable, or contradictory, and everybody dogpiles her on the basis of that, not because she's a woman or whatever, not because we're all just like writing her off or not listening. She gets the chance to monologue on so many streams, on so many topics, even when she's not on the ball. And we let it happen, you know. So for her to go around and be like, you know, I'm getting so like unfairly like dogpiled, and it's due to this like sexist dynamic, like I think that shit is fucking dishonest.
Yeah, she there's definitely some sexist shit that goes on in my subreddit, but like a lot of the hate she gets is like it's because of the shit she said. It's not because she's a woman. That's why I think I've said this a lot. I get so triggered when she like throws her lot in with Brittany, who unironically gets a lot of unfair hate. Like no,
So
like Lab has
yeah,
earned a lot of it. Yeah.
you say crazy stuff, you say crazy or radicalized stuff, and then chat and the community are going to have a certain feedback to that. And if you're going to be on a platform here that is, you know, half and half with respect to like a wholesome discourse and also like the blood sport or whatever, you got to know what you're walking into. I think she just like thinks that she's absolved of like her commitment to kind of what the meta is here,
No,
just because
she
she's more
knows.
emotional about
She
it.
knows, and she realizes all of it. I think she's a little bit of a chameleon, that she'll kind of like switch up based on who she's talking to or what. That's why, like, I point out that like she'll say these things simultaneously. Like she's on this huge victim narrative of, oh my god, like it's not fair. I'm on a big platform. I don't know what to expect. But then like when I still remember so clearly that there was this huge fight that she got into I don't remember who it was with. It might have been on TreeofLogic's stream, but people were accusing her of going to my stream for clout. And she's like, clout? I'm more famous than him. I've got 700,000 followers on TikTok. I have more clout than he'll ever have. And it's like, okay, well then why are you complaining about being on a big platform? Like, you already know this. Like, you've got it, sweetie. Like, you've got the big clout. You've got all the big audiences. You've been through all this. Like, who the fuck am I? Like, why are you stressed over what my itty bitty stream says, you know? Yeah.
Like,
you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, Erudite and a few others. I think Kelly Jean was there, whatever, yesterday on the TreeofLogic stream, and they're basically having like an intervention. Like, we all believe you can change, and then like the moment that they're like suggesting like she needs to change her conduct or whatever, it's immediately, why do you have these expectations of me?
Oh,
why do I have to change?
It was even worse. Something that you can see that is like, and this is like a big deal with like Max and her too, I can tell, but something that really fucked her mind up is as soon as one guy came into that stream to start simping for her, she completely 180'd on everything.
Smeth.
And she,
Smeth
that's
fucking
Smeth.
Garbage.
As soon as Smeth came in, she was like, oh, and actually you guys are all fucking horrible and evil. And actually you guys are, oh, no, he's right. You guys are trying to manipulate. Like, as soon as he walked in, it was insane.
Dude, he didn't even have any points. He was literally just like, guys, even though she can be responsible for the things that she does, shouldn't we also be more accommodating? You know, just like just talking into the vacuum of like, you know, plurality or whatever without like actually addressing the culpability she has for her participation in this fucking like basically what's like a smear campaign, right?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing that I've kind of learned on all of this is something that's very interesting to me is I don't think I've ever actually interacted with a true narcissist before. Somebody like Max. I've never had anybody in my life. I can't think of anybody that's even remotely approached that level. Him plus Lav being like so easily manipulatable, kind of vulnerable where she's out of life or whatever, like combined to make like the perfect fucking storm of shit. But I've never actually met a true person who sees themselves the way that Max does before my entire life. So it's been very interesting to see that.
Yeah, like you know, I think the pathologizing, like where we start talking about like, oh, these people are just like classical narcissists. They're like, you know, they're obviously batshit insane. I think this is like the cop out that we take when we don't want to further rationalize their motivation in the process, which I think Erudite spoke about yesterday. She was saying like when we start talking about, oh, she's just crazy, we can explain it all away with that. We're taking away the agency, right?
Yeah, I mean to some extent, but like Max is an unexplainable character without mental illness. I don't think you can. Well, I mean, you could just call him evil, but that's kind of
you know, I think he kind of like drew the profile that we can all like kind of track. I mean, he's done things that are contentious, extremely like considered to be objectionable or whatever, right? His career was hurt by it or whatever, and essentially to stay in rotation, he's basically going to clip onto that notoriety and try to create affiliation so that he doesn't completely fizzle out. I mean, tons of like gamers and streamers get canceled for doing terrible shit or whatever, and then what do they usually do? They step away. They go the fuck away. I think somebody yesterday referenced like when Mizkif gets into like a really like heated like dramatic situation, he tends to take like a week off from streaming and just go away. He's confident in his crowd and his audience, whatever. He'll come back, reset, and then approach with a fresh mind state. But a lot of the people in your orbit, particularly because they're like low streamers, like they don't have a lot of like an audience or anything really going on without you, they need to stick around even if they look fucking terrible because they have nothing else if they don't.
If Max was like truly like the reason why the only way to explain his shit as narcissism is because he's so self-destructive. Inexplicably self-destructive. Like he did it with Lex, he did it with a professor on his stream. I'm sure there's been more people who's done it before with too, for Bridges and Burned and shit. And now he's done it with me, which is like his last fucking, the only possible person on earth that could ever extend like any amount of charitability to him. And I don't know how to explain that pattern of behavior without some kind of mental illness. It's just unbelievable.
I don't know if he realizes it, but I think he's doing everything as like an act of self-preservation in the debate sphere.
But it's not. He's not self-preservationing. He's literally, or self-preserving. He's literally self-destructing. Like,
well, we could say the same thing about Kanye, right? Like Kanye is definitely destroying.
Kanye, I think, is also mentally ill, though.
I understand that, but like in general, just holding him to his actions or whatever, absent of like the pathology.
No, he's
definitely destroying his career, but at the same time, his destruction of his career has become a hot topic and is keeping him in rotation instead of the usual cancellation where we can't even talk on this person's name. You know, they get scarlet lettered or whatever.
Sure, but I will say that like just because I'm pathologizing doesn't mean I'm taking away Max's agency. The guy's like what, like 39 years old or whatever. Like he should know better. Like there's like, yeah, even if he is. But the problem is he's got enough people that he's caught in his orbit around him that he's never going to change. But that's usually how it goes, yeah, with manipulators.
No, I'm in favor of the blackball. I think like most like points about the situation have been exhausted. I mean, more revelations will come on down the line, but I think it's pretty much been neutralized. I mean, I hope you keep it together, whatever. Because at the end of your stream, after everything first transpired or whatever, you did say that you lost friends. You didn't say you lost orbiters. You said you lost friends in the process.
Yeah, well, because Max and Lav were two people that I was starting to get a little closer, but I shouldn't have. Well, with Lav, it was okay because she wasn't a streamer. If Lav would have gotten into streaming, I would have talked to her later. I wouldn't have, because generally I stay away from like streamer type people like that. But when I was starting to talk to her initially, she hadn't gotten into streaming. It's like, oh, okay, this is like a random friend, and she had like a TikTok and shit. So it's like she knows a little bit like the publicity shit. So it's a nice person to relate to. And then Max was Max was like a 50-50 risk. I just threw it out there. Why not? Fuck it. But obviously not a good one. But
yeah, like I think you had like more of like a he even referred to you as his boss at one point. I think MrGirl, like he was saying essentially you're his boss. You know what I mean? He's on your platform or whatever. You know, but I think in the case of Lav, like one thing that I've been wondering and something I speculated on is maybe that you felt is that okay, you guys have this backdrop of like knowing each other outside of the stream world or whatever. So maybe you felt like maybe a responsibility to like accommodate her in the debate sphere.
Wait,
I don't know if you think that's
for
true.
Lav?
Yeah.
I mean, I accommodate everybody. I know that people keep saying I like apply the selective charitability, but I accommodate everybody. Like I accommodated the fuck out of Sneeko, out of anybody that wants to show up and argue. Like I typically do it, but I don't think I was extra special accommodating towards her. Like I was screaming at her quite a bit when she was in here, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think in future, if they ever want to appear or whatever, I mean, I wouldn't even trust MrGirl, frankly, right? But I think Lav can hang around as long as she's willing to contribute to conversations and be subject to the same treatment as everybody else gets.
Fuck her. Fuck that bitch. Absolutely not. She's nowhere near
shit.
any of my shit.
It's
absolutely
fuck her.
Anywhere. Yeah, no.
That's the
no.
vibe.
The
It's
problem
fuck
is that
her.
like
Okay.
now that I've seen that like because now I see how she talks with people in the background. And now that I see how she twists every single fucking thing that I say in like the most unimaginable fucking way possible, there's just like there's no excuse for it. Like it's just insane. And like at the end of the day, a lot of it probably does come down to like Max's manipulation of her. But it like at some point, it's like, bro, we were friends. Like the fuck. Like if Dan were to come to me or Mr. Moon were to come to me and he was like, oh yeah, like fuck, was it an emailer or some girl might have actually messaged me and said this, I don't remember, but she was like, yeah, like if any of your other close friends got twisted this way, what would you do? It was like, yeah, actually I would dump him to the curb 100%. If Dan was like, I'm so sorry I did this to you, but you know, Abba manipulated me, I'd be like, okay, well, that's your problem. Like you're a fucking wild. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm not gonna waste your time. I appreciate you having me on. I do hope I can get to dunk on some of your dumber orbiters at some point, but I'll just be hanging out in the waiting room until then. Next time. Yeah, good chatting with you, man, and definitely appreciate the piano. You have some skills at that. You said you went to music school?
A little bit. It's all really basic. If you knew piano, you'd know that I'm faking like 90% of what I do. But yeah. But yeah.
Faking. What does faking mean in the context? Like the notes.
Yeah. It's I do okay. Okay.
Yeah, man. Good luck with everything. Also, man, when your wife asks you to help with something, you fucking go and do it, bro. Like,
I did. I just did go and do it. What are you talking about?
You're like, no, hun. I'm like fucking. I'm on beat right now. I can't
was on beat. Okay, Jesus. Wait, hold on. I didn't just play the intro to my stream. That wasn't me playing. You know that, right?
Wait, what?
I wasn't playing right now, like 10 minutes ago, or like the intro to my stream.
Wait, what? You were just like watching somebody? No, you were tapping. You were trying to get the 900.
Oh no! I'm saying the piano.
Oh, the piano at the beginning. Oh no, that was just some shit that you were playing. Okay,
Yeah.
That's fine. No, but I know you like play it.
No, okay, yeah, just making sure. Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah. Also, just real quickly,
Mm-hmm.
not trying to poke holes here, but when you say that you had MrGirl, he had the opportunity to come on and contradict what you were saying or like address you in the VC. He did, but you definitely muted him.
Yeah, well, I did because he was trying to like. I just wanted to fully respond to what he was saying, but then they're trying to railroad a fucking narrative on me. That was the thing that was irritating.
But like, yeah, but I mean, you went on that like black guy stream or whatever, and he was saying all the one-sided shit, and he kept on kicking you off, or whatever. He never gave you a chance to fully like make your point, or he didn't even answer what an NFT was, right? I feel like maybe you kind of did the same thing.
I mean, I would have unmuted him after I gave my explanation, but I mean, hey, listen, that's on him. He just wanted to come. He just wanted to come in and drop his bomb, and then he wanted to just like build on that. But I don't think he had anything else to say. But hey, listen, he was welcome to stay longer if he wanted to, or he could just not. If he wanted to leave, that's on him.
All right, man. Yo, good talking to you or whatever. Looking forward to some interesting talks, man. Enjoy your Saturday. Take it easy.
Be careful, bud.
Shout out Discord chat.
Bye. Crazy Augur, what up?
Hey, what's going on? I just had some quick questions for you about. I assume this stream is about fans talking about the MrGirl stuff and all that.
It's whatever you want to talk about. Okay.
I just want to ask you some quick questions about. So, I understand everything that's going on, and I understand why you're taking the response you are. I just have questions on your motives. So, it feels like to me. So, I understand why you'd be so offended and preemptive, especially given the people who are being talked about and talking together in the background. But it feels to me like this idea of blackballing them entirely and like no mention, no nothing, nobody talk to them feels like something you haven't ever done with anyone else that I can think of outside of like.
I did it to Anna for a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
She was just trying to, yeah. But my problem with, so the reason why I do it is because I think that Max is genuinely like an abusive person, not like in a TikTok way, but like I think he's an abuser. Like I think he finds people, he grabs them, he uses them, and then he like destroys their minds. So I don't want him to be in any of the communities that I'm in until he's like gotten professional help. And I think Lav is somebody that serially makes false rape or abuse accusations, and she apparently has a history of doing this that I'm now more familiar with. And so I don't ever want to be in any community, and I don't want to promote any community or do anything that is amplifying those two voices until they have gotten professional help and proven it.
Sure, and even hearing that makes me feel somewhat better, because when I think about the Voshes, the Hassans, even like the Bob Sevens, like the crazy people you've dealt with, none of them have reached a level where, and especially, I'm not saying you're not justified in doing this, but especially preemptively. Like I'm not, if MrGirl is
well, hold on,
talking to,
none of this is preemptively.
No, in the way of whatever Max was intending to do didn't happen. Like I'm not.
Oh, sure. I don't have any problems with Max reaching out, and Max can fucking DM me for a list of girls I've talked to if he wants. Like I don't care. You can go talk to anybody he wants to. My issue is with him manipulating people and being abusive.
Yes. So and I'm giving you the credit of you know a lot more about what's behind the scenes. You haven't said everything that you know. So I do trust that the actions you're taking are justified based on the things that we don't know.
Well, you don't have to trust me. Fuck. Most of the stuff that at this point I think I've said like pretty publicly. I think most of it is like pretty public. You could disagree with my analysis and say, oh, actually, I don't think this is abusive at all. And you're totally within your rights to do that.
No, I don't. I'm not here to do that. It's more just commenting on
the severity what I saw. Of the blackballing.
No, just in the behavior. Like I've seen you talk to a lot of people that you absolutely fucking hate and who have tried to destroy you in the past. And it felt weirdly. And my concept was that you're justified in doing this because you said you were trying to make them closer friends, and you're getting burned pretty hard by two people that you were trying to ingratiate in a deeper level. So if that was the reason why you're, I don't want to use the word flying off the handle because that seems unfair, but responding so harshly, that would make perfect sense.
Sure, and also I don't, again, this has nothing to do with them after me. Like, for instance, like Hassan and Vosh and all these people, like, I didn't care, like Hassan and Vosh can try to destroy me. But they're nothing that Hassan or Vosh has done have come close to the level of being like abusers. I don't think that's
sure,
even,
but
it's not even remotely
like with the Rittenhouse drama, they did pose a significant amount of problems for you.
Yeah, they did problems for sure, and they were very unfair to me, I would say, and even like bad faith, I would say, but not abusive, not like evil people. No, not.
Yeah, and if that's how you feel about it, I think you're totally justified in what you're doing. Okay. But yeah, just hearing even that you said that, like maybe in the future if they both like fucking get therapy, it just felt somewhat out of character for it to be like immediate preemptive. I know it's not preemptive, but like before any verdict came out, blackballing of everything. They like everything.
Wait, verdict of what coming out?
Well, whatever Mr. was working on. He said
I watched his face. He can still work on it. He's still doing that in the background. He'll be doing that the whole time.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying that what's the abusive part that you see if it did come out that MrGirl like did his investigation and then later said like I don't see Destiny is doing anything wrong.
My problem isn't with that. My problem is the way that he's manipulated Lav. It's the way that he's used Anna's story. It's the way that he pressured and coerced Anna into leaking stuff that he even admitted was coercion, even though he doesn't realize he's being coercive. It's the way he's reached out to people that he shouldn't even know about, that he only does because I've confided him privately about things, and then he lied to those people, saying that a bunch of people knew all of our business, which was not true. It's the messages that he sent to Lav and the way that he's like twisting her mind around. Like all of these things are like, and then I don't know if I'd include it's probably also the way now as the waveform is collapsing and I'm seeing more and more like I'm applying less charitability to prior things. I think a lot of the videos that I've seen of him and the way that he interacts with Shaylin, the way that he talks about like consent and everything, I don't think that these things are like they have the possibility for nuance, but now understanding who Max is, I think most of them were either just like rape or abuse. I don't think there was very much nuance there as much as it seemed. I think it was a narcissist who was trying to post hoc justify all of his bad actions by pretending there's nuance and then trying to thrive in the nuance.
Sure, and I I don't know if I would go as far as you, but I can see what you're saying. And that's the kind of stuff that I was talking about, like stuff that I'm not privy to. I don't know if his DMs with people I'm not supposed to know about or like
everything I've leaked everything I can. Chud had him earlier today.
I'm not up on that stuff. Then I'll go look at what that stuff is. But that's the kind of stuff that I was saying that I don't know everything. And your opinion on him being a narcissistic manipulator might be more. You might have a lot more to make that call than I did. But yeah, I was just wanting to know if you had any thoughts about what I consider to be a disproportionate reaction. But you even saying that like if they get help, blah blah blah, then they can come back is more in line with how I see you treat most people that burn you. Like you are pretty stalwart in the whole like water under the bridge if they want to come back on, blah blah blah. So
generally, but it's very 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 rare that I've met like truly.
Yeah, I can get that you see them as like a higher risk factor just because of the way that they operate. Like if associating them will become toxic and parasitic to the other relationships you have. So I can see like
the words you're using are I'm not agreeing with these. You keep saying risk factor. It's not risk factor. It's types of behavior. Like the biggest risk factor to me are probably people like Hassan or Vosh or Keffels. These are high risk factors, but it's not a risk factor. It has to do with the immoral behavior of being an abuser. That's the particular thing. I don't know if I've interacted with hardly anybody that's fit that profile before. Vosh and Hassan are not even close to it. It has nothing to do with being a risk factor to my relationships or my careers or anything. Yeah.
I'm not meaning it in like the threatening kind of way, but just the, it's the same reason you had the response to Anna where like,
because I felt like she was, approaching that. But again, I understand her better now, and that's not what I think she was doing. I understand more what she was doing.
Yeah. I had another thing I want to talk about, but I don't, one second. No, I don't think it's a good idea to talk about it right now.
Well, what is it? You might as well. You're here.
So I don't want to use the word benevolent sexism. And I don't think that that's fair to call you that. But do you think that in the middle of all the drama, do you think that you go harder on, like, when you get betrayed by Lav, you're like, oh, well, she's just like a younger girl. She's just doing like, blah, blah. And I know you've changed your opinion on that. But it feels like you give, like, Max is the ultimate abuser. Max is this, Max is that. And then when it comes to Lav, it's like, teehee, whatever. It feels like a little bit like the idea of giving Lav a bridge back. I get that it's all informed by the idea that Max is the real problem and she's just a victim of Max, but it feels like that's
I don't really have any other situations in my life that I can compare this to, but sure. I mean, like, the dynamic is so obvious. Like Max is literally a 39-year-old man with a history of like weird abusive / rapey videos that he's justified, and Lav is like a 24-year-old woman that is like coming off of OnlyFans work and doing shit. Like, I'm not saying Lav has no agency, and she definitely, like, now I'm holding her more accountable for actions, but like the dynamic is so clear. I don't think it's benevolent sexism to say there's obviously like an abuser-abusee dynamic.
No, I don't disagree with that. It's just that it's all down to the way you treat other people, and I'm not pretending to be like a part of your personal relationships. Your relationships with other people are obviously a lot more than I see, but people that have done semi-similar, not at all semi-similar, you're taking this situation very seriously comparatively, but like even having Anna around, having like Cherry around, having people that have also done some pretty what I would call mentally ill accusation kind of things.
You're grouping like all the behavior together, but most of these are so unimaginably different. Like what has Cherry done that's even close to similar to Max or Lav? Like neither one is even remotely similar. Or tell me, yeah.
Well, in my brain, granted, you are putting Max on a very high pedestal that I'm not currently doing, which is what the disconnect is here. But in my brain, Cherry made it was a similar twit longer of sexual misconduct or something like that, similar to what Max is, as far as I'm aware, is trying to do an investigation on. It feels like a very similar type of accusation.
Okay, hold on. Are you must be a huge Max fan. Is that what? And then you want me to like talk about this? Is that what's going on?
No, not at all.
You must because every single thing you're saying is so unimaginably fucking wrong. Either that or you're actually like functionally remedial. Like I don't know how to like. So
I might be functionally remedial.
Cherry made a twit longer. I don't know if she made a twit longer or not, but she made some tweets or whatever with Stardust about how they felt uncomfortable because Max was showing his like his fucking happy trail.
I was talking about I was talking about Cherry's thing about you.
Cherry's thing about me was that I think she just made a twit longer saying she felt like she got obsessed with me, and I was like, and I didn't return her thing, and she like fucked with her head a little. She didn't make any sexual assault allegations against me.
I didn't. Sorry if I said sexual assault.
No, hold on, wait, no, stop.
Okay,
stop. This is my new rule going forward. Okay, I'm not letting people do this. I can't tell if you're being intentionally bad faith or not. Okay,
no,
Max
not at all.
is saying that I have a pattern of picking victims, fucking them, and then getting off in a sadistic way when I bring them on stream and have my community dogpile them. And I'm doing this while mind fucking them and physically fucking them the entire time. How the fuck can you compare this to what Cherry's twit longer was about me? It's not even it's not even like on the same planet. I don't even think it's on the same plane of existence.
Sure. I guess it's slightly different for me because that's behind the scenes stuff. I feel like
No. None of this is behind the scenes. Why do you keep saying that? All of this is totally open. Nothing that you've just said has anything to do with behind the scenes. What do you mean? Or what's behind the scenes?
You don't think it makes a different? Oh God, I'm about to get destroyed on the internet for my first appearance.
Wait.
The thing that I would just
What the fuck are
say.
you bringing me up for if you don't know shit?
I'm not trying to bring you up for because I don't know shit.
Okay, wait. Let me just finish this, and then you can talk to me if you want to. Hold on, wait. No, I'm super curious, okay? Because
Go for it.
yeah, how are these even remote? How do you think these are even remotely comparable?
I guess I just see these two things as a little bit different because it's getting brought to the forefront before somebody wanted to make an accusation about something. So while
Hold on, but Cherry's not making any sexual assault allegations towards me.
I'm not saying she is.
But then why would you compare it towards Max's like sexual assault allegations?
Because I don't think Max is accusing you of sexual assault. Is he?
He's accusing me of not sexual assault. He's accusing me of sexual abuse.
Or sexual misconduct is the word that or sexual abuse.
He calls me an abuser. He's saying I'm choosing victims.
Sure. These things are fair. I'm just trying.
But
I'm literally just asking.
Okay.
I agree with what you're saying, and I'm trying to figure out more about the topic. I'm not trying to make any. I'm trying to figure out why I feel like you're reacting harder than I would think you would. And if you see these things as like in heavier gravity and in like bigger problems, I believe you, and I'm totally willing to admit that. I'm just trying to compare it to what I see of it. I'm not trying to at all make
Max is
accusations
explicitly accusing you of sexual abuse. He's running around talking to a whole bunch of people, and he's weaponized the fuck out of another person out of a very complicated history with to try to further his own agenda. I don't know
Sure.
if maybe Cherry I did do those things and I missed them all, but it's not even remotely.
No. So this is what I'm saying is that the Max thing for you is on a much higher level than I'm putting it. To me, I do see it.
Okay, hold on. Okay, fuck. I'm gonna borrow a word from Lav, and I hate that I'm saying this, but you're very minimizing. You keep saying these
I agree.
things.
That's what
no,
I'm
no, 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 no,
admitting
no,
to
no,
you.
no, no. You're saying these things like the Max thing for you seems to be on a higher level. It seems like you're putting. No. It is. It's a world of difference in terms of the accusation. It's not just my personal feelings. Like, well, Max hurt my feelings more. The gravity of the claims are massive.
Sure.
The difference between the two, yeah.
Do you not think it's fair for me to say that if I'm lowballing this or if I'm comparing it to something that it's not comparable to, like Cherry, I'm not trying to insult you. I like you. I'm not trying to drag you into it or drag you down. I'm just saying if my perspective is that it's not as bad as you are, not that I'm saying this is my perspective, but if I'm saying that the way that I see it at the moment isn't as high of gravity, and I'm saying, well, if you know, I'm saying you know more, you're more involved.
No, stop saying I know more.
No,
It's not private. Nothing is
what are you
private.
saying?
This is all public. Wait, what is?
No,
I don't understand what you're saying. Like, do I know more? Like, Max is saying that I am serially sexually abusing
I'm saying
orbiters.
I don't know all the information.
What
I'm
what
not
don't you
saying-
know of that?
Why
Wait,
would
everything
you
that I just
say anything?
Yeah, wait, everything I just said is public.
Because I'm just asking about what I saw to be a disproportional
Were you
response.
asking or were you making a
Implying.
I was asking, honest to God, what did I say that was not
claim?
asking?
Were you asking or were you providing some weird evidence?
No, none of those things. I literally
You don't
just
think
no. You can watch it. In my opinion, I came in here to ask about why. Literally, my first question was why does it seem like to me, a viewer, that the response is like disproportional? I've never seen it go full blackout, like the whole thing. I thought that was disproportional, and I wanted to ask Destiny about what he knows or how he feels about it that would justify the response. And I have in no way attempted to say, well, what MrGirl's doing isn't as bad. I haven't said like, oh, don't you think that's an overreaction?
Okay.
All of
I
my
have
questions.
no idea what you just said, but I know you came in here to ask Steven why he banned MrGirl before seeing his video. Because what happens if he does his investigation and finds that Steven is actually innocent? That's what the fuck you came in here for.
Yeah, so that was my question. Is that I feel like the
Why would
preemptivity
that
of it.
matter?
Why wouldn't it matter
He
if
doesn't like the behavior that's already happening.
That's
Why would he wait for him to do all of the bad behavior and then be like, oh, just kidding, you're actually fine. I was just talking shit and stirring shit up and fucking everyone's heads up for no fucking reason.
Yeah, I agree with that. I said from the beginning, like if Destiny wants to do it, he can do it. And I'm not at all downplaying what MrGirl's doing. I understand why Destiny's reacting the way he is. I even said, like, do you think I could see it being worse because Destiny's like a This is
Wait,
somebody
wait.
you brought in closer.
Just
like I
curious.
feel like I'm admitting all these things.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Just curious then. Wait. So why am I reacting the way I am? What is the?
I'm not trying to mind read you. I think I could explain
Oh, no,
it.
no.
and
I think I said it, didn't I? Like
Yeah,
three
you
times?
did. You said because you see. Okay, so you see Max as the first like true blue NPD person you've ever interacted with. You think that he is a serial abuser. He lures in these people.
Yeah.
and,
Okay. Yeah. You got it.
and-
You got it. You got it. Okay.
Yeah, I understand entirely. I think there's a big miscommunication going on. I'm not downplaying the Max thing. I'm not saying that your response is not acceptable. I just saw it as from where I'm sitting, disproportionate to what I've seen you respond. I've never seen you black a person out like that. And I was coming here to ask why it is you're going so hard. And I fully accept the answer. And I'm not saying that you're not allowed to do it.
Okay.
I'm not at all trying to downplay anything that's going on. And Cherry, I only brought you up as it's something that's come up recently with the Max drama. My whole point
you
is that Destiny.
mischaracterized my tweet longer. You assumed that I made some sort of like Me Too claim against Destiny, and I didn't.
So from my perspective, the exact thing that, and again, I accept that Steven is doing this not because of what Max has done, but what he sees him as doing and the harm it can cause. I agree. And I'm not downplaying that. I'm just saying it seems to me like the thing that Max is investigating is the thing that you got mad about, or at least that's the dynamic of like Max is accusing of some used and abused
that
thing.
I
I'm not
got-
saying
You think that I felt used and abused?
I don't know exactly how you felt. I was just, my only point in it was just that he usually keeps people
I felt
around.
like I was about to go on a vacation and it got canceled. That's it.
Sure. I'm not trying to say anything about that. I don't think you're a
one
bad
was
person.
abused, and to be honest, Steven is my fucking victim.
Stop. Okay.
Okay, I
Okay.
don't-
Both
I'm
of you
not
guys
trying
are
to
done.
make-
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay. Do you have any final fucking thoughts for us?
Yes, I apologize for how poorly this went. It was not my
You're good.
intention for Cherry to jump out. I like Cherry. I'm not even trying to say that. And if I'm uneducated on the situation, I accept that entirely.
You're good. Don't
I
worry
was
about
just
it.
wondering why the response seemed disproportionate, because you always have these talks on stream, like even with Vosh when he was doing the Poppy stuff, like you brought him on stream. It just felt peculiar to me that it was like nuked. And I get that you were going to let MrGirl on and he chose not to come on.
Well, he did
Like,
come
you-
on, but then he wanted to
Yeah,
talk
and
to me. I
then
had
he
to
dipped
do my
out and he
response.
wouldn't
Sure.
talk to you.
Sure.
I'm saying that you did give him that. So I'm not even saying you're like, I didn't mean at all to undermine anything. It was literally just wanting to view your perspective of it.
Okay. Well,
I
I got my
pinky-
perspective. Okay.
And I will admit that I am a Max fan, still a little bit. But I also think that you're completely justified in doing everything that you're doing. I don't think that you're overreacting, or I'm not trying to downplay what he's doing.
Okay.
I'm just wanting to write it out and see what happens in the end, to be honest.
All right. Well, good luck, my dude. We'll
Okay,
look
I
forward to
apologize for the-
his big research doc. Okay. I'm sure it'll be spicy.
I doubt it will. I think the whole thing's a shit show. But I appreciate coming on, and I'm sorry that it got miscommunicated.
You're good. No problem. Have fun, buddy.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Jesus. What up? How
Real
you
quick,
doing, baby? Yes.
Two things. When I had told you by DM that, yo, this lab bitch is racist. You know, she's saying I'm a black woman with a white soul, blah blah blah, right?
Uh-huh.
So
Stuck in the
I-
sunken place. Yeah.
yeah. So I said I'm gonna come for her, but before I do, let me go ahead and do my research. Let me go investigate her. And two things I want to bring up, and then I'm
Yeah.
done.
Tell me.
One is I don't see her as smart. And I just want to ask you a question. How can you continually say that she's a very intelligent person, she's a smart person, but then go on and say, well, I don't blame Lav for what she's doing because of Max? Well, if she really was a smart person, how can Max, aka MrGirl, do what he's like, influence her to make these actions against you?
You know, we all engage with the word smart in different ways, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. The reality is that like smart people can be tricked to do dumb things, and smart people do dumb things. Like I think Max, for instance, I think Max is very smart. But obviously I disagree a lot with what he does and what he says. But yeah, I don't think that like I've met dumb people before, and Laba's not dumb enough to use like being stupid as an excuse. She might be like
No,
naive.
she's not dumb.
Yeah.
She's just evil.
Half like
That's
20
the
20% evil and very like naive, I'll say that, and also probably like very selfish. Sure, like I would grant all of those things, but I would never call her dumb. I don't think so. But everything else I would 100% yeah be on board with. Yeah.
All right. And second, in the process of watching her, I did not like the attacks that she made against your wife. And I think, and this is just a suggestion, I have no power in this whatsoever. But I think that the women that you engaged in sexually, that your wife is off limits. There should be a line that they don't cross in attacking Melina, all right? And I think, and if you won't do it, I think the community should go on behalf of protecting her because
Well, there's two huge problems with that. So
okay, what?
One problem is that oftentimes people that have sexual interactions with streamers don't want it to be publicly known because people will start to make assumptions about their character and everything. So if I start saying like, okay, well, hold on, guys, just so you know, like, Tree's not allowed to attack my wife, right? And it's like, oh, no, we haven't done anything sexual ever, of course. But I'm saying, like, if I were to say that, people would know. They'd be like,
no.
Yeah.
If they go for no. I think I misunderstood.
Or maybe I misunderstood. Yeah, tell me.
Express myself. Yeah, when they go after your wife. You know what I'm saying? Like I think, and I'm wrong, I could be wrong, please, correct me. But I have seen in the past some, not all, some women who have engaged with you come at your wife.
The problem is that Melina's very active and stuff too. If somebody ever like goes in on Melina for no fucking reason, then I'll usually go really hard at that person. Cathals and a lot of the trans people online started doing it. That's why they all got written in my manifesto, and I went really hard on them for that because I thought that was fucking disgusting. But oftentimes, Melina has judgments and opinions, which is fine. She has all of the right to do that on people that I interact with, and Melina will come out and start to say stuff. And if Melina's going to come out and she's going to give her opinions on people, then because Melina started to shit talk Lav a lot in my chat, and then she did it on her stream, which is fine. Melina has every right to do that, but if she's going to do that, and then people are going to shit talk her back, well, I mean, that's part of the game. I can't just defend her just because she's my wife, because then I lose all of the any amount of like credibility I have is gone, because people are going to say, oh, you're only defending these people because of blah blah blah, right?
Okay. All right.
But if anybody ever just like shits on my wife like
All right,
unprovoked, I'm usually like, that's not a cool thing. But usually there's a lot of back and forth because we're all like shitting on each other on the internet. Yeah. But yeah, okay, go ahead. What's up?
Yeah. Okay. And Abba's not the only one who didn't like MrGirl. I was there prior to him even getting with you, okay? Never liked that motherfucker. Couldn't stand him. We all know. I was like, no, I'm fucking no goddamn MrGirl. And people like, you just don't understand him because, he's an artist. Like, fuck that motherfucker. And I also was one of the first, or maybe not the first, but I also made a video saying, yo, that motherfucker is bragging about raping a woman and you guys are taking his side of the story. Imagine if somebody said, yeah, she said no and I fucked her anyway. Imagine if, somebody else said that, like a actual Harvey Weinstein. You guys would basically want to come after him with pitchforks and torches. The thing about it is that you don't have her side. What if she actually came out and said, I want to make a video. This video misrepresent what happened. I actually felt that I was raped, blah, blah, blah. Then you guys look stupid. Stop taking one person, especially some fucked up person like MrGirl's side of the story. So there's that. All right,
that's probably true, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's all I want to say. Hi, DGG chat and YouTube chat and everybody. Okay, gotta go. Bye. And I don't love you, Steven, but you my buddy, okay?
Okay, well, I love you, Tree. Have fun. Be careful, okay?
Fuck you. Bye.